How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Happy Thursday. I know you're thinking, wait, Q, you're posting on Thursday? I know, it's just, I'm kind of bored right now, to be honest with you. Like, the NBA season's still going on, but you already got your courtside podcast, and the NFL right now, it's free agency. So, yeah. In today's video, as you can see by the title and thumbnail of this video, we're doing a video first. What that basically is basically I'm doing a video that I've never done before, which is basically I'm going to be grading, excuse me, every single NFL team's end of the season, like how well they did at the end of the NFL season. Now, I will say there might be some controversy with this team, with certain teams, but if you hear my reasoning now, if you hear me out, you'll understand why. Well, at least I hope you do, because that's where I put them. A couple things as always. One, make sure to subscribe button. Two, turn on the post notification bell. Three, like this video and comment down below where you would put these teams. I might drop my off-season uh, needs for every NFL team either this week or maybe next week, depending on my availability, because I've been very busy these past couple days. But anyway, enough me yapping. Let's get into the video. All right, so we have the top tier, which is A plus to A minus. Below that, we have B plus to B minus, like they did okay. Then we have the C plus to C minus. Below that, we got the D plus to D minus, and then of course we got the F. So starting with the Broncos, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Like I said, I'm going to give the Broncos a B plus. Yes, I know they haven't been to the playoffs since 2015. I understand that. But like this team exceeded expectations. And I think right now, if you look at this Broncos team, I think they're one piece away from becoming very good in year two with Bo Nix. Next up, we got the Ravens, B minus. All right, look, obviously they got bounced by the Bills, but this team was actually really like somewhat competitive. I know they won the AFC North against the Steelers and stuff like that, but they had some really bad losses this year, and their defense kind of like wasn't consistent. Up next, we got the Giants, F. Like this team was garbage last year. All right. And I honestly hope that Joe Shane gets fired. Not saying I don't want anyone fired, but this guy lets Saquon Barkley walk. And to me, as a Packers fan, that's unexcusable. Next up, we got the Bengals. I'm going to give them a C. Look, offensively, they were an A plus. I think they were like top 10 in every statistical category. But defense was the reason why they didn't make the playoffs this year. I think if they can like run it back with the same group and their defense can play a solid football, this team might make the playoffs, but we shall see. Next up, we got the Dolphins. I'm also gonna give them a C. Look, this team like played solid football. The problem was that it was a tale of two halves. Like defense played well, offense was sluggish in the first half of the season. Granted, all right. Second half of the season, offense was good, defense was sluggish. All right. All right. Obviously, Tua was hurt, but like they got to be consistent to be a good team. Next up, we got the Vikings. This might sound crazy, you guys. I'm gonna give them a B plus. Look, they were amazing this year. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, you look at this team. Actually, you know what? We're gonna put them at A minus. All right, they were good, but they could not beat the Lions, and not to mention they got bounced in the first round. Next up, we got the Saints, D minus. All right, obviously Derek Carr was hurt during the season. The offense was a mess. Defense is old as hell, but hey, it happens. Next up, we got the Rams. I'm gonna give the Rams a B plus. All right, obviously I was surprised that they made the playoffs this year. Not saying they could, but like the 49ers are like, hungry, but, they played well. They were actually like, if they hadn't fumbled the ball, I thought they would have beaten Philly in a way or made it close, but it is what it is. Up next, we got the Bucks. B as well. This team was good. This team was very good this year. Baker played actually phenomenal this year, but like the Bengals, is that their defense was the reason why they got bounced earlier, why they kind of look weird this season. Up next, we got the Lions, A minus. I know Lions fans are going to say, why are you not giving us A plus? You got bounced by a team who hasn't won one playoff game in like in like 2 decades, like or like a long time. Up next, we got the Bears. I'm gonna say D minus for now. I mean, this team was like playing spoiler, like I said they were. But at the same time, at one point, people were saying that the Bears were going to make the playoffs when they were on like a 3 or 4 game win streak. Next up, we got the 49ers. D minus as well. This team was so banged up. I think, if my personal opinion, if they run it back with the same group, this time with Robert Saleh, and they get bounced, I think they should honestly blow it up. But that's going to be for another video. Up next, we got the Eagles. A plus. All right, obviously they won the Super Bowl. Obviously, they beat almost everybody. But yeah, it was really good. It was a really great season for the Eagles. Next up, we got the Raiders. F. Like, this is an F. All right, trade Devontae Adams. Max Crosby might want out. It was a mess. Up next, we got the Packers. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. As a Packers fan, I'm gonna give them a B. They were 1-5 against the NFC North. 1-5. Could have gone 0-6. 1-5. But I think Jordan Love is gonna come back healthy. We're gonna get a wide receiver one. Defense is gonna take another leap, hopefully, and we're gonna be dangerous. Next up, we got the Commanders. A minus. This team, I think right now has an amazing future. All right, Jaden Daniels was the real deal. All right. Defense was okay. Like, they made it to the NFC Championship game, which is hard to believe. All right. Next up, we got the Cardinals. D minus. I mean, they were okay, I guess, but they weren't terrible. But hey, it's what happens when you're like in the middle of nowhere in terms of rebuild here or want to compete. Next up, we got the Steelers. You know what? I'm going to say they're a D plus. This team was never the same. I think they went on they were like 8-3 at one point, and then bam, they just like fell off. Like, they were bad. Next up, we got the Bills. I'm going to give the Bills a B. All right. All right. Look, they were really good this year. Obviously, Josh Allen won MVP, understandably so. They had so many injuries, but this team fell short in the Super Bowl. And I understand people are saying, but why are the Vikings, the Lions, and the Commanders up there? It's like, unlike the Bills, because I honestly thought the Bills were going to make the playoffs, no one was picking these two teams to make the playoffs, people. Next up, we got the Falcons. D. I mean, this team was probably, and I hate saying this, the Jets, the most disappointing team this season, like, period. Like, how do you sign, like, you sign Kirk Cousins, then you draft a quarterback, and then all of a sudden, you had one game to win against the frisky Panthers, and you lose that game, and all of a sudden the Bucs make the playoffs. Like, what is that? Up next, we got the Seahawks. I'm going to give the Seahawks a D, not a D, a C. All right, obviously, this team played really okay football, but there were times where I watched them and they were like inconsistent. Up next, we got the Patriots. Do I want to put them up there? Yeah, I'll put them up there. F, but like unlike maybe this team, maybe the 49ers and maybe the Bears, they kind of have a bright future because they found their guy in Drake May. They hired a really good coach in what's his name? Mike Vrabel. The Patriots have an exciting future. Up next, we've got the Browns, F. And I'm not even joking. All right? Like, this team right now is probably the most screwed team in the next 2 years. Like in terms of quarterbacks, they're probably the most screwed. Because Deshaun Watson's hurt. Nick Chubb is now starting to get hurt. Myles Garrett's out. This team's a mess. Next up, we got the Texans. B minus. They played really well, but it just seemed like CJ Stroud was never the same, like for some apparent reason. And also, they had a lot of injury. Not blaming them, but they had a lot of injury. Chiefs, A minus. I know you're thinking, why are they not lower? Lower. Well, one, they won the AFC, but like I was tempted to put this team at B plus, but then you know what? Like I decided against it because they won 15 games. Cowboys. Cowboys are interesting. I'm gonna say the Cowboys, they get a D. All right. I mean, they played like annoying football in a way that like they played spoiler, but it just wasn't enough because as you looked at them in the beginning of the season, they weren't that good. Next up, we got the Chargers, C minus. Obviously, getting bounced in the first round is huge, but not to mention, like there would be times where their offense was good and their defense was great, and then it would be the complete opposite. Next up, we got the Jets. Oh, I hate doing this, but F. F. All right. Offensively, they were great because Aaron played well. All right. Devontae Adams played well. But defense, I mean, it's hard to explain. Next up, we got the Panthers. I'm going to be dead honest with you when I say this. I think the Panthers deserve a D. All right. They were actually pretty competitive. If you looked at I think their 3 games, they were probably the most competitive team for like the first, I don't know, like first like the last portion of the season. Like they were really competitive. Up next, we got the Colts. I mean, not the Colts, the Titans. Sorry, I misread that. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. You know, I'm gonna put the Jets at D minus. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Hear me out on this. This team was a D, but let me explain why I don't have them as F, unlike the other team. A lot of people tend to forget this. The Titans had like a top 10 defense. Like, let me pull up my phone right here and explain how is that even possible. Let me read you some of their like defensive. Now, granted, like it probably changed, but like, let me see. Let me pull up their defense stats. Oh, dang it, they don't have it. But they were like top 10 or top 15 in every defensive category, which is hard to believe. Like, if they get a quarterback, I think they could be like 7 to 8 wins next season. Next up, we got the Colts. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say F. All right, this team right now has talent. All right, Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Mo Alley Cox, Jonathan Taylor. All right, Kenny Moore, DeForest Buckner. They have guys on their team. It's that their quarterback is just, oh my God, their quarterback's ass. And finally, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. D. All right, like I mean, I know they weren't playing as well, but at least, and I know it sounds crazy, at least they have a quarterback, unlike the Colts. All right, they weren't as bad as the Colts, I would say, record-wise, but like at least they know what they have a quarterback. The Colts, I don't even know. And that is me doing my end of the season grades for every single NFL team. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I honestly enjoyed making it. If you did, please get a like, subscribe, turn that post notification bell. Make sure you stay tuned for either tomorrow or next week for my off-season needs for every single NFL team, as well as episode 21 of the Courtside Podcast. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If you're living in the Pacific Northwest, like Portland, Eugene, Fife, where I am right now, enjoy the nice weather. Go on a run. Go play some basketball. Go for a walk even. All right, because the weather's nice. But with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay hydrated if it's a little bit too hot for you. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.